Justin Herbert and the 3-0 Los Angeles Chargers head to MetLife Stadium to take on Russell Wilson and the New York Giants. This is a battle between two teams that are on completely different trajectories. Chargers, 3 straight divisional victories. I can't think of a better way to drop the season. And let's talk about their win against Denver for a second here, because that was the adversity that I was looking to see. Can the Chargers be down in a hole, a tight spot? They need their quarterback to perform. He does. He throws one of the most ridiculous sidearm throws that you can imagine for the game-tying touchdown. They get the stop, go down there. Dicker, the kicker's been blessed by Gus Johnson himself that he just doesn't miss game winners. They win that thing, and SoFi Stadium goes nuts. On the other spectrum of it for the New York Giants, Russell Wilson, Malik Nabers, after that great performance against the Dallas Cowboys, apparently that defense isn't quite as good as people were saying, that Russell Wilson was getting all of this heaping praise for that way he played against them. What I saw at the end was a very weird interception to Malik Nabers, chucking it up in overtime, and then last week just seemingly taking shots that weren't there, not having poise. At the end of the first half, that should have been a 6-6 or a 9-6 football game. There is no way that the New York Giants should have been trailing going into the second half. That was very weird to me, the way that they handled all of that. They have a defensive back that could have just let the wide receiver catch the ball, then tackle him, and the clock would have ran out. The way that this thing has been managed for New York, I really have to speak with sincerity here, because the thing has gone the way I thought it would. They have a very tough schedule that Russell Wilson's going to come in there with an offense that has struggled as of late. And they have another tough one, the Chargers. They've got the Eagles 2 out of 3 times. You got the Broncos sandwiched in between there in a couple of weeks. This thing is going down a trail you haven't wanted to, but I said you got to keep the faith in Brian Daboll and let this thing play out, and don't insert Jackson Dart into this thing quite yet. Maybe Jackson Arnold someday will be in the National Football League. He's playing pretty well for Auburn, but don't do that. Keep Russ in. Let Jackson Dart learn from him. Put him in for certain packages. Allow him to get a couple of game reps. Keep his feet getting wet. But really what I'm more disappointed in is Malik Nabers. That body language just has to be better. We got to be better than wearing our emotions on our sleeve and being easily a guy that's able to be picked out and say, well, I mean, you're one of the most talented players in the league, and you're just pouting about the field because you haven't been getting the ball, or you haven't been able to separate the way that you want to. They're taking you out of the game. I give credit to Steve Spagnuolo when he was able to do for the Los Angeles Chargers and their defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter. That's the exact same thing I'm going to. I'm going to say, all right, Wendell Robinson, you played well against Dallas, had a beautiful catch against the Kansas City Chiefs in that Sunday night game. We're going to take away Malik Nabers and force you to give the ball to Cam Scataba. Or we're going to force you to throw the football to Wendell Robinson, because we believe if we have Russell Wilson dropping back enough times that we will be able to read him, and that somebody will be able to make a play on the football, that we can get pressure. Don't even have to rush more than 4 guys. Rush 4, drop 7, and that we'll be able to take the football away. This is a really bad matchup for New York because of the way the Los Angeles Chargers just don't give up points. The number 1 scoring defense from a season ago. Statistically, they come out to start the year giving up 21-9 and then 20 points. You could argue that it should be even a little bit less than that with the way that they have played so far. Immediately, I'm thinking something around 13, 14 points for New York. And the defense is good. It just has me a little bit perplexed, because you took Abdul Carter with that 3rd overall pick to be what he was at Penn State, which is dynamic, explosive, getting after the quarterback. He's playing off-ball linebacker right now. I get there's Kayvon Thibodeau at a high level, Brian Burns, which thank goodness he didn't have a bad injury on that play. I had everyone scared that he might have done something bad. He's played at such a high level early on in this season, but Carter a lot of time is left as a quarterback spy, rushing in between the tackles. He's so good on the edges, that bend, that rare flexibility, combination of power and speed. And when he's left in an off-ball linebacker spot, I just feel he's not able to impact the impact the plays as much as necessary. Is there a way that we can get Abdul Carter more on the ball instead of off the ball? It almost seems like there's a bit of a logjam right now, that they've got a talented chess piece, but he can do a lot more than just be that off-ball spot. Curious if New York, after watching this thing, wants to do something and ship somebody. They've got all that talent on the defensive side of the ball. Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence already having a great start to the season. They are so good in the trenches, but offensively, the offensive line has been looking like they are capable of being dominated at times, that being reliant on Cam Skattebo in the run game is a bit of a means to an end. He ran the football very well. He caught the football well, 120 all-purpose yards. I guarantee you Jim Harbaugh is going to come out and take that away, that will not be reliable. So it's 2nd and 8. What are the New York Giants going to do when they're in that situation just about every other time? It's a 2-yard run to Skattebo. They drop back past Russell Wilson. It's a jump off to Cam Skattebo. That's what's coming. What is their response to that? How do they manufacture an ability to have Malik Nabers be open? Chris Collinsworth said it perfectly in that broadcast. If you remember, it's like, can we get Nabers on a reverse or a screenplay? Get the football in his hands, because he's still a young guy, a second-year player. Get the football in his hands so he's fully engaged. At times, it didn't look like he might have been engaged. You can let me know down below if I'm being a little bit hard on him. I've got really high expectations for these type of talented players. A guy that was taken 6th overall. Looks like he might even be better than Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, those 3 top 10 wide receivers that were taken in that draft. But playing at that high level, it just seems like he's so frustrated right now in New York. As far as that Chargers attack on offense going against New York, and that they love to utilize the tight ends in pass protection or bring out 6, 7 offensive linemen to be able to run the football out of those packages. That was featured really well against Denver. Justin Herbert continues to win games he would have lost in the past. I can't help but feel with Brandon Staley that they lose that game against Kansas City week 1, and they lose this game against the Broncos and same old Chargers, but now they're 3-0, and it's like, this team might not have to be playing deep in December if they can keep winning games like this. And the offense, though, that's where the improvement has been. Omarion Hampton proving that he can be that back. A bad fumble against the Raiders. He had that mistake against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1, but he's getting a little bit more familiar. 19 carries for 70 yards. They ran the football okay, over 100 yards rushing. Had to rely a little bit more on Herbert's arm at times. Give a lot of credit to how talented that Denver Bronco defense is. They had 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss. A great unit for Denver. Going to give them a lot of credit. One of the best defenses in football. Seeing them collide, can understand that we might see a little bit more of a limited version of Lad McConkey. Had only 40 yards, but Quentin Johnston continuing to establish himself as one of the most underrated players in the National Football League right now. He has fully taken that leap, jumped off the year 2 decent player to year 3. I am a fundamental weapon for this Chargers offense. My goodness, one of these catches he had in that game against Denver, just over somebody. Wow, this guy just pops off right now on the tape. Statistically, one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League right now. Keenan Allen still clutch, a touchdown in this game. It looks like he's got 2 years ago Keenan Allen written all over him after that year hiatus where he goes to the Chicago Bears. This offense, not even having mentioned Keandre Lambert-Smith, Trey Harris, the rookies that they brought in, all of that talent, it poses massive problems for New York. New York's sitting there looking, can we just have like one of those guys to be able to add to our offense? And it's not like they're limited on talent. The difference here is that you have a team that's flowing offensively, that they have an identity, that we can throw to run the ball. A lot of teams and a lot of people think that it's run the ball to throw it. The Chargers throw it to be able to open up the run, because when you throw the ball well, what does that do? It backs up the corners and makes the safeties play too high. It makes the linebackers have to get more depth on their drops, and so they're on their heels instead of they're on their toes. And so the run game, you have larger holes, and instead of there's contact right around 2-3 yards off the line of scrimmage. Now you're making contact 3, 4, 5 yards off the line because they really have to respect that action game, which is so prevalent in that Charger offense. We are fired up for this matchup. I gotta say that I have a lot of confidence in what LA can do, that I think that they win this game 31-17. They are big favorites in this one, just about a touchdown over New York. New York, in what I could see them, how they could try to pull off the upset. It's Russell Wilson pulling stuff out. A little bit of the mobility that I want to see more from him. Design runs, keeping those second down and manageables that have seemed to elude them throughout the season. They're in third and long so often. He's having to scramble around, chuck the ball deep. It just does not look like a clean operation at all. So let me know down below in the comments, do the Giants have any chance, not just any chance, but a way to look cleaner, that they have positive signals as an offense? This truly is a season where people are saying, let's tank for some weapon. Maybe it's Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs on that defense now? You might be having something added, or another weapon. I don't exactly know who that offensive weapon might be. That felt like a little bit of last year's draft, but we'll see. We have to talk about the draft, but these are things that we do on Blitz with Blender. I have NFL content out every day, college NFL content, so I do talk a lot about these college guys. And if you are a Charger fan, let me know down below, is this margin of 14 points not enough? I appreciate you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more Blitz with Blender videos in the future, and then I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blender, hi everybody, I'm Josh Blender.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.